Good morning. Next news. Donald Trump announces 2 new national holidays. With a catch. HuffPost. The president's declaration came with a typical Trumpian twist. Below are your comments. All over the world, the Allies are celebrating the victory we had in World War II. For the Rico Road, we do not celebrate or party hardy. We commemorate the actions of people from all over the empire and their sacrifices, including our cousins from across the pond. It is a solemn occasion and see more. We never took credit for it. No need to. European countries have always shown their appreciation to the United States for our involvement in both world wars. Sadly, in just 100 days, Trump has ruined our relationship with these countries. What's next? Will JD insist they all thank us? November 11th has always been a holiday. First commemorated as Armistice Day to mark the end of World War I, and then transitioned over to Veterans Day as a thank you to all the citizens who have served their country faithfully, of which Donald Trump is not one. Only Congress can declare a national holiday. But this Congress has checked out and are letting him rule by fiat. Victory Day, May 8th, is already a holiday. In Russia, November 11th is Veterans Day, which honors all our veterans from all wars, not just WW1. Of course, Captain Bonespurs has repeatedly dishonored our veterans, so of course he's trying to strip away their holiday. If Trump was more interested in taking responsibility than credit, this country would be in a far better position. We never took credit for it. It was a combined effort. From what I have read about WW1, we struggled and learned much from the Allied forces. America, home of the free because of the brave who did what they had to do, and many paid the ultimate price for that, and for you. I'm surprised he didn't name his birthday as a national holiday, but maybe that's his goal. Why anyone would want to celebrate his birthday is a mystery. I'd rather celebrate his resignation. Will it lower the price of eggs or groceries or gasoline or insurance, premiums or healthcare costs? Or anything he promised in the campaign? Of course not. Everything with him is grandstanding and showmanship. Running at the mouth is not running the country. We have too many holidays? Sure, sounds like a robber baron back on the late 1800s when workers united against them to form unions for better working conditions and better hours and days off. But MAGA will just think, yeah, there are too many holidays. So where's the holiday for our other veterans? We have been in many wars and police actions, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, etc. And each had soldiers that laid down their lives or sacrificed a part of themselves for the greater good of the country. We have 2 days that focus on these, Memorial Day, to celebrate our fallen soldiers, and Veterans Day to celebrate those that served. Now he's changing these to celebrate just the world wars? President Bonespurs has no idea what it means to serve, in any capacity. Bonespurs will keep me from celebrating these holidays. The idea we never took credit for our roles in the 2 world wars is beyond absurd. We didn't actually win World War I, we tipped the balance for the French and British. We celebrated ourselves for our victories in World War II for decades, and we're still doing it. Trump ran like a rabbit rather than serve, and I don't want him having anything to do with naming holidays that involve veterans. First and foremost, the United States did not win either of these wars. Trump saying so just infuriates our European allies and demonstrates to the rest of the world that we have elected a poorly educated man to lead our country, and is further evidence that he does have knowledge necessary to lead the free world. WW2 officially ended in September when Japan surrendered. Germany surrendered May 8, but the Allies were still fighting in the Pacific Front. I'm waiting for Trump to declare May 15th as a national holiday. The McDonald's brothers opened their first McDonald's restaurant on May 15, 1940 in San Bernardino, California. The president's reasoning for the celebrations. We won 2 world wars, but we never took credit for it. Mature grown-ups don't feel the need to take credit for something. 00. It's only the weak, insecure, narcissists who need to say, hey, look at what I did. So pathetic. The Dodger has no clue about fighting a war. Nobody wins a fight, war. It may end on the field yet never ends in the minds and hearts of those who fought it and stayed alive. Never. Something the coward will never feel nor know. Worst start of a president for the stock market in the first 100 days in 50 years. Recession is already here. Trumpflation equals stagflation. Tariffs are going to be the cause, and it is self-inflicted. There have been no trade deals. It took 2 years to get some of the deals done in his first term. Trying to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. is a joke. Not going to happen. Labor is too cheap in countries. Supply chains are already disrupted, and these countries will start making deals with other countries. Already happening. China turned away the big airplane deal and go and ask soybean farmers how that is going for them. They will turn to Brazil for soybeans. Recession always shows up later in the data. By October you will start to see empty shelves at the grocery store. It is about studying the history of recessions, and the U.S. is heading for a big one. Companies will start to hold back from growth and making big purchases. Chaos and volatility is what companies hate. It takes years to bounce back. Good luck, America, you are going to need it. Trump will go down as the worst president ever because it is also about the people you hire, and this guy has hired the worst of the worst. November 11th used to be called Armistice Day when it was declared a national holiday in 1938. In 1954, Congress renamed it Veterans Day to honor all veterans from both World Wars, and Eisenhower signed the bill into law. So this is not a new holiday, just going back to what it was originally called. May 8th is the day Germany surrendered in 1945. It certainly was a joyous day, but the war in the Pacific was still going on. So what and who is being honored on May 8th? And if we don't need any more holidays, what's the point of creating a new one? By the way, Armistice or Veterans Day is a federal holiday and many businesses are closed. Sorry, Mr. President, but announcing 2 new holidays is not enough of a distraction to stop me from worrying about my finances as I watch my retirement savings shrink and as I wonder what the tariffs will do to my budget. And Trump knows about the history of the United States. He'll probably rename our country to Trump's World. I would rather have Wayne's World. He said we have too many holidays in America, i.e., he thinks you should be working more. Americans work about 6 weeks more per year than Europeans, about 240 hours more per year. In the entire history of capitalism, no employer has ever suggested a reduction in the workweek. The labor movement fought and died for the weekend, literally. 30 years ago, Juliet Schor wrote a best-selling book called The Overworked American, which showed that from the 1960s to the 1990s, the American work year had increased by a month, in terms of working hours. 160 additional working hours per year. In June, she's coming out with a new book, 4 Days a Week. The life-changing solution for reducing employee stress, improving well-being, and working smarter. We should check it out and put the 4-day workweek on the agenda in the U.S. Peace. WW2 was won by the Allies working together, not the USA or any other nation standing alone. And yes, that includes the USSR, whether we like to admit it today or not. A lot of ugly choices were made to achieve victory, including leaving a dictator in control of East RN Europe and half of Germany and the only wartime use of atomic weaponry. It would have been uglier by far to leave the Axis leadership free to do what they were doing, and the fact that we had to resort to the measures we did should serve as a lesson that there is no such thing as a clean, uncomplicated war. We do not celebrate either world war with their holidays are somber commemorative ones, remembering those who were lost and reminding ourselves not to repeat the mistakes of the past that led to those horrors. We have too many days off? Seriously? Oh, that's right, you're a trust funder. You've never actually had to work. So you don't really know, do you? The day the Big Macs finally do their thing, and he returns to the underworld in which he came, should be made an international holiday. It's truly embarrassing to have someone in the White House who doesn't know when WW2 ended. Japan surrendered the 2nd of September 45. Never took credit? Americans always brag about winning the war and saving other countries in both world wars, negating credit for countries who fought bravely and very well from the beginning. Americans joined the World War II 2.5 years after it began. Well, once again, the President of the United States doesn't create national holidays, Congress does. On that note, I, with equal authority as Trump, do hereby declare that June 14th is National Numbskull Day in honor of the most inept president the world has ever seen, Donald J. Trump. I also declare the week of his birth to be Dunning-Kruger Week in recognition of his supporters that, through their delusional confidence and utter lack of actual knowledge or education, fearlessly explain the positive cause and effect of Trump's presidency on the economy, world. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.